During this week's video, we remove the TJ body from its frame. All right, we're taking the bleeping cart apart. We started with the hood already. Got the neighbor boy over helping. Got the washer fluid off. We gonna dump this out? No, let's reuse it. We're doing some rednecking. Got the old bottle sitting on the hood. Filling up the McBus. Nothing goes to waste around here. Hope you guys have the same mindset. Reuse, recycle, reuse again. Hey, can you turn the steering wheel? Turn it to passenger. Yeah, there you go.
Where's the wire cutter?
Bar? I got it. Something's happening here, Captain. Oh. Hit it with your spurs. Okay. Yeah. We are getting a lot done. We probably got a half an hour into it. We got most of the wiring out and we almost have the dash out. We got the steering wheel column out. Front fenders are off. I'm going to take the power steering box off. Then we'll be hoisting this Jeep up to get the body mounts off. Now we're going to do a little progress report. See if our fluid... Oh my gosh, it stopped. Most of it came out. Gotta hold it above my head now. Or just dump the rest in. Well, we're at it again. It's been a couple days. We are working on the TJ Buggy for bleeping Jeep Kart Wars. We already pulled the throttle cable out and the throttle pedal. Now we're working on the master and the brake and the slave cylinder. Once we get these two guys pulled, there ain't much left before the body comes up. I was looking at this TJ though, and I thought something was very interesting because I just picked up a Willys pickup. Yeah, 48 Willys pickup. Probably a week ago. No, 2 weeks ago. And the guys that I picked up the Willys pickup from said, hey, make sure you have the vent on the cowl working. Otherwise, you'll get cooked in that Jeep because the window's flat and the air doesn't wrap around into the windows, the side windows, the passenger door and the driver door. So he was saying, make sure this cowl vent works. It's interesting to see on this TJ that they have the same concept here where the vent is functional up here and they got this cool plenum dealie going into the cab. So when we ever get to the Willys pickup, we might have to rob something like that or make something similar to make sure we get the cool air in the cab. I just thought that was kind of cool. Little Jeep history or Jeep knowledge that I just learned and I'll pass it on to you guys. So let's keep tinkering at this guy. So we got the brake assembly out and clutch. I don't need the clutch because I plan on putting an automatic in there. So if you guys are watching and you're local to me, if you want to switch or trade parts, if you want the clutch assembly, give me your brake assembly because that's all I need. I'm not going to put a manual in this project. It's just going to be an automatic. Or do I keep it in and use these ghetto pedals for style points? Or better yet, if you have an AX15 and you want to trade an automatic, we can work that deal too. We took a little break in the action. We're getting some axles for the cart. Got the forklift, got White Goodman. That's the work truck we got around the shop. We're gonna bring some axles home, see if we can build something for this cart. Well, we made her home with no casualties. With White Goodman, the work truck. There's one little casualty. So we got a bunch of goodies to start building our cart. Got some fuel, not part of the project. Got the transfer case. Don't know what I'm gonna do for axles. Got the WJ knuckles, and we got the cart. I also picked up this scuttle box, super vintage, but I thought I could maybe put a fuel cell in here. So when we build the buggy, this would sit on the back side of the buggy with the fuel cell in the back, fuel tank sitting in that coal scuttle box. And it looked kind of vintage sitting off the back side of it. Not sure if it's gonna work yet, but I picked it up on Marketplace for 20 bucks. So I couldn't pass it up for how vintage it is. And I love old school vintage finds like that. So I don't find a use for it on the cart project. There might be another project in the future. Maybe the Willys pickup or some other rat rod we build in the future. Or we just sell it in a couple years for 20 bucks. Now what I discovered when I was getting fuel in a sandwich. If you crawl underneath, I noticed at the gas station that there was a big puddle when I pulled away. Look at that rear end leaking. So let's add that to the list. Needs a brake booster too. So some work needs to be done to the old work truck because we're gonna be using it a lot for some parts runs here in the very near future. Well, we are back at the shop, back at the, what's he call it back here? A little sign. Junkyard Alley. That's what it is. We're gonna pull the seats out of this beautiful Corsica because we sold it for a demo car. We ain't into demos, but there's a lot of people around here that are. So we've listed it on the old marketplace and we sold this Corsica. But I want the seats out of it because these seats are gonna go in my 85 Cutlass because they're gray and in mint shape. And there's race buckets in my Cutlass. So therefore we're gonna pull the race buckets out of the Cutlass and put it in the bleeping cart and then put these in the Cutlass. You know, it's a whole ordeal, but there's some interesting seat rails in here. I don't quite understand them, but I think if we pull one bolt back here, it's like a 3-rail system. I don't foresee that bolt coming out at all. I might be able to cut it. Look at this, we're making money already in this project. Got 60 cents in one glove. All right, let's get the angle grinder because I'm not optimistic that this bolt head's gonna come off. I'd rather just cut it. So let's do that. Might steal these floor mats. They're pretty mint. Probably go in a Jeep. Try not to get that carpet on fire. Fire extinguisher here. Oh yeah, that works nice. Sizzling. Sizzles. Well, we cut the back bracket off, almost started a fire. Then I grabbed the breaker bar. And I grabbed the breaker bar with one of these special Torx sockets. And bam! It just broke off. Now I'm wishing I would have did that on the back side. Because I cut the back side. But it's not cut all the way through. Oh, it's like wedged on this one. It's wedged. It's out of that rail. Now Now this needs to come out of this rail. Come on, baby. Wiggle it. Victory is ours. Wow, this side was way easier. Should have just went and got that special socket first, instead of using the cutoff wheel. I remember what Bad Chad calls his cutoff wheel. He calls it a zip cut, which I think is hilarious because also he has that Canadian accent. Okay, 2 seats down. Go back home again and see if we can get that body off that Wrangler. We'll get that body off in this video, I promise you. I think we're done with the fire extinguisher. We had to take the wheel cover too for the XJ. Well, we're back at it. The mission tonight is to get this body off. What you've been waiting for. There's supposed to be a thunderstorm at 7. It's about 6. So can we get this body off in an hour before the storm? We must find out. I'm still too cheap and I haven't bought a trolley for our gantry that we bought, the Temu gantry. It's not actually Temu, but we got it at the local auction and it would be something you buy at Temu. If you haven't seen that video, go check that out. It's a good watch, even though you might not need a gantry in your life, but sports channel. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna use a soft shackle up on the gantry. Will it work? Not sure. But we do have a chain hoist and we have one of those slings. So from here, we just see what happens. I gotta go play Monkey Man and put this up there. It's already raining on me, but there's no clouds. Look up. What the heck? Weird world we live in. Now we're lifting the gantry up. Got one side up. Gotta keep working at it here. Watch me lift it up. Looks like fun. Show you my little helper down here. There she is. Well, so far so good. Sketchy level, minimal right now. It's not lifting the front, so I'm gonna go get the Badland jack and see if we can lift the front, get under there. We don't have to lift this too high. I'm not scared of laying on the ground a little bit to get these body mounts off. So Badland jack it is. All right, here's what we did. Wheel crib front, wheel crib in the rear. You can't really see it, but it's back there. So let's lower this gantry. Well, see if the frame rests on these cribs for now. Then we can loosen those bolts. After we get these body bolts out, which looks like there's maybe 6 of them. There's one here and on the other side. I'm gonna try to move these chains up here. Maybe throw a bolt in here so it doesn't slide. Because I'm guessing this window, I'm guessing the windshield and the cowl is a lot heavier than. Well, little update. Driver's side, all 6 bolts under here just spin because they're rusted and broken off the body. So those just spin. I don't even know how this side is even on the frame. But the passenger side, all the bolts are tight. And my impact don't even break the bolts. That's where we're at. Well, 2 out of 6 isn't bad. Now for the rear ones. Well, these rear bolts are messing with me. We got one out. But first I tried the reciprocating saw. My angle grinder doesn't get into the bumper, not deep enough. Got all the wrong sockets. So I used a chrome on impact. Bad mistake. Broke the chrome socket. So then had to get creative and use a 3/8 adapter to a 1/2 inch with a breaker bar, a chrome socket again, because I can't find my impact 16 or my impact 5/8 to get these bolts. Luckily, it snapped. Dang it, I spoke too soon. Why do I do that to myself? Broke another chrome socket. I'm gonna have to get the angle grinder out and try to cut that bolt head off. Dang. It's always the last bolt too. 1 bolt left. Well, there's some other ones in there, but you know, the tub's rusted out. All right, victory. My last socket, extractor socket with the extension, the 3/8. We got her. Now we gotta readjust these chains and see if this body comes off. Well, we are suspended in the air. I do not know what's holding this body on. I can swing on it. Back in there and see if we can lift up on it or something. Really don't know what's holding it on. Well, if you watch my videos, you know most of the time you're here to learn from my mistakes, because we adjusted it even higher and put a different point of contact for those chains. The body, as you can see, is a foot off the front, but there's 2 more body mounts. Jeep didn't want these tubs coming off, because 8 body mounts on this little Jeep. So right when I thought I broke the last bolt, yeah, there's 1 more under here and then on the other side as well. So let's see if I have any luck taking those 2 bolts out with my 1 socket. Wish me luck. Just never give up on yourself. We did it. The body is off the frame. I'm gonna lift this gantry up 1 more. You already can see that we've gone a couple holes up. I'm gonna go a couple more and get this cab way up in the air, because we gotta snake that frame out somehow without axles. And it's just me here, so we gotta get creative. So another tidbit, you know, I like to give you tech tips and tool tips. This guy right here saved me. Remember, I broke those other 3 sockets. This one, not so much. A 16 from Harbor Freight. See how high we can go. Well, there you go. The TJ is off the frame. Now we can build a bleeping cart. That gantry might be the best $100 I've ever spent. That made this job much easier. And I wasn't expecting me to be able to roll it forward off the frame on this soft grass. So that was super impressive. It was a little sketchy, but again, the Jeep body doesn't weigh a whole lot. So that was our saving grace by moving the gantry in the grass. So now we have to go get my cutlass. We got to pull the seats out of it because we need to determine where we're going to sit in this frame, this little buggy that we're going to make for Bleepin' Jeep's Cart Wars. As always, thanks for watching, and until next time.